Yeah, up to like your 18th birthday, you spent how long in hospital?
Well, I used to spend.
I understand that when between up to like your 18th birthday, you spent how long in hospital?
Well, I used to spend like 2 weeks. This is on average.
Yep.
Because we're doing.
When you got to 18,
Yeah.
what did you weigh?
I was about 6.5 stone when I was at my
6.5.
worst. Well, I've obviously.
Sister Adeline, you had that book. What was the name of your book again?
Oh,
Power
Holding
of Imagination.
On- Yes.
Am I wrong? No, I'm right.
You're right. No, Holding on to Your Vision, let me correct you then.
See?
This is your other book.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Well, maybe I'm trying to create a book here.
Welcome to Best Way TV. You are watching the best community television program that's out there, and this is the
Power Talk Show.
Show. And welcome to Johnny Simpson, the amazing Johnny Simpson, who has now joined us again this week. And how are you doing, Johnny?
I'm very well, Mark. How are you?
Is Johnny. Last week we spoke about the three biggest challenges.
That's correct. You did.
Everybody that's watching this just now, what we were going to talk about is the solutions, because it's okay talking about problems, it's okay talking about things that are wrong in the world, and we can moan about this and we can moan about that. But what we need is solutions, things that will make our lives better. And what we've got is this fantastic opportunity, all being self-isolated and having all these challenges in the world where we can actually do that. And
Yeah.
Johnny, you know, you've got some fantastic solutions in the world. But to kick this off, thank you to everybody that's replied and said, you know, this is a challenge and this is a problem and maybe solve this for us. And we've taken three of those topics. And the topics that we're going to provide solutions for today, one is money, finances, because that seems to be a big concern to people. The second is about loneliness and being trapped, you know, which I can understand. You know, you're in your house, you're not allowed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lack of motivation. So those are the three topics that we're going to work on today. And we're going to spend some time on each of those, going through, providing practical help, practical solutions that are going to make people's lives better. So, Johnny, are you ready?
I am indeed. Let's go.
You know what? It's funny, actually. Are you a football fan?
Not really. No, my brothers are, but I'm not. I don't really. It's not really my kind of thing.
Right. Best quote I've ever heard was a guy called Ian Wright, who played.
Oh yeah. I know Ian Wright, of course.
And he was in an FA Cup final, and in Crystal Palace were 2-0 down against Man United. And he was only a young boy. I think he was about 19. And he was a hot centre forward.
He was a goal machine, wasn't he, Ian Wright?
And so the manager at that time said, "Look, I'm gonna put you on the pitch, right? Because we need some goals, otherwise we're going to lose it." And whilst he was just waiting to go on, the manager said to him, "Are you ready?" And Ian Wright came back with the best quote I've ever heard, and he said, "I was born ready. I was born ready." So if anyone asks you again, "Are you ready?" You say, "I am born ready." And I think that's just fantastic, because if you are, am I ready? It's kind of like one level of energy. I was born ready.
Yeah.
That says everything, you know. It doesn't matter what you throw at me. I am ready for it. I was born for it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a great way of starting off today's show, because it's all about how strong we feel, how determined we are. Yeah, I think a big word that you've got, is desire, isn't it? That comes up.
Desire. Yes, desire is incredibly important, because a lot of the time people aren't lacking. People aren't lazy. They're just lacking desire because maybe they're uninspired. That's usually one of the traps we fall into. I've done it myself. We do it all the time, But this is why our intent has to match our desire, because that's so important. But the thing we need to find first is passion and desire. That's it.
I love it. So let's kick off with the first subject, right?
Yeah.
Money, right? We need solutions for money. So our world at the moment is turned upside down, right? We have uncertainty over absolutely everything. We're seeing massive unemployment in different parts of the world. Some of these people will get their jobs back. Unfortunately, some won't. And I think we're going to be faced with a situation where those people that have got jobs might find when they go back after a while, because we're heading towards a recession, according to the big experts, it's going to be about, if it does turn out to be the way they're predicting, as bad as the 1930s, or getting close that way, so there is a possibility, and I think people need to be prepared for it. What was their 5-day income becomes maybe a 3-day income.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of insecurity. So I think what we need to kind of look at this is from like a very proactive worst case scenario is, what do I do? What do I do to boost my income, provide myself with kind of financial security? So what kind of thoughts have you got as a starting point on that?
Well, first of all, the first thing I would say is anybody who can't turn up to a premises, anyone who has like a physical job where they have to turn up to a place at a certain time, everybody's had that taken away from them, don't they? But one thing I'd say 90% of people have access to right now is the internet. And because everybody is at home right now, yes, markets might be saturated, but there's also a 10 times wider audience because everybody is tuned in. Everybody's spending a lot more time online. So it's time to be creative and capitalize on that.
How big is that audience? How many people have got access to the internet, around the world?
Well, we're coming up to 8 billion people in the world. Mm-hmm. And I think there was over 5 billion Facebook accounts have been made. I know obviously a lot of those are going to be duplicate accounts. A lot of them are going to be fake. So let's say, just for example, half of those people are real. Let's say, even if half of that's correct, right? So we've got 2.5 billion people that are online every day.
Right.
And I guarantee,
massive.
I bet 2.5 billion of those people, they're not all trying to make businesses and money on there. So look at the online coaching world, for example. I'm an online coach, but I can't coach people face to face as any other coach can't right now. So everyone's had to take that business online. Yes, there's more competition, but everybody who would normally be in a gym can't be in a gym right now. So they are also online looking for help. They're looking for new ways. So consumer markets haven't necessarily disappeared. They've changed completely. There's a big difference. So this is something, it's not ideal for all of us, but there's lots of areas I think there could be capitalized on. Just because needs have changed, the market has to change with it.
It was interesting because I was looking at like Amazon, for example. I mean, their turnover last year was 87 billion.
Yeah.
And there's a program coming up on television next week where they're talking about just people just ordering. So I don't know what the turnover for the next 12 months is going to be, but it could be more than $100 billion. And that is just a phenomenal amount of money.
It is.
But I'm going to mention this because I know it then kind of will start you going down a route. But 30% of all their income, so approximately about $30 billion a year, actually comes from people like you and me in the house that will share links to products that they're selling.
Yeah.
Clicks on the link and then buys. The person that shared the link suddenly gets between, about 4 and about 10, 12% of the money. And they handle none of the products. They do none of the shipping, none of the returns. So they're still being paid for. 30 billion a year is being made by people sitting on their backsides in their living rooms, being smart.
Here's another thing. Like, you've really hit it on the head there. Like, now people can't work at a premises and that kind of thing. Like, costs of travel, expenses, like hardware, all those kind of things. Sources are limited in that sense, but costs of running a business from home are 10 times less as well. So again, we can adjust in that sense. So you've hit the nail on the head there. And there's so many different ways to source income online now. And having more than one income stream is essential. Just because, I know it sounds cheesy, but putting all your eggs in one basket, it's very brave. So if we've got more than one thing that we can grow at a time, no matter how long they take to grow, if one doesn't work, we've still got something else to focus on. And I really do think now is the time for everybody to start trying to do that.
Two things that came into my head there was there's a lady called Sophie Howard.
Right.
She does this thing with Amazon, but she's repaid a mortgage twice over in 3 years from just promoting other products on Amazon. So there are people out there, probably some make no money, but there are some people that do it right. They get a lot of money out of it. And I remember Warren Buffett saying that millionaires get their income from 8 different areas. So we kind of think of a millionaire and somebody goes, oh, bang, suddenly they've got $1 million or £1 million or €1 million. But actually, they're much smarter than that. And they've made their money from multiple different areas, and they're getting income from multiple different areas. That's why they're rich, because they're, as what you've just said, is they're spreading their time, they're spreading their investment, they're spreading what they're doing into doing different things. And this is, I think, the basis that. Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should do a whole show, or even multiple shows, on exact ideas, exact strategies around this making money from your house using the internet in ways that cost very little to do. So the risk factor is really low. I think we should do that, because you're absolutely right.
There's the thing, you've hit the nail on the head there as well. Not everybody's going to get rich from it. I'm not rich, but I can support myself. But the thing is, the only way you're not going to make anything from it is if you don't try. And if you've got, the thing is, most people have nothing to lose at this time. You really, really did hit the nail on the head there. Most online businesses, to start from scratch, they cost nothing to start. And you have nothing to lose and no expenses. So the only real thing, really, there's no excuse to try. There is no excuse.
I was looking at some stats for guys that build databases, so maybe they put out like an ebook. It might not even be their ebook, it could be another ebook. And then people give their email addresses to the ebook.
Yeah.
Database. Very, very, very simplistic. But what the statistics show is the people that then take that database and then email those people with new offers, other offers, probably ladies on Amazon. Statistically, you should make $1 per month per person in that database. So if you've got, for example, 5,000 people in that database,
yeah,
you're making $5,000 a month, because everything is all about distribution. And if you control the distribution, if you've got the names,
yeah,
you can do whatever with them. So, if I had those 5,000 names, I could take a Johnny Simpson course, and I could promote that Johnny Simpson course. You make money,
that is actually a plan. That is actually a plan I have coming up. It's going to be the mind, body, and spirit method. It's going to be coming up. That's going to be in a couple of months. Everything obviously got sidetracked because of Challenge U and etc. But yeah, that is something. But for myself, for example, I have my newsletter. I have recipe books. I did work at a gym. I have my online coaching. I have a couple of brands that I work with that I get commission from. I write articles for people. So, there's always, if there's not work in one area, there's always somewhere else you can look for it. So,
yeah,
like I said, I'm definitely not rich, but I have more than one source of income. So I don't get stuck in one particular pattern and then fully rely on that one pattern to work.
Okay, well, we're going to go into the second subject, solution. But with regard to money, what we're saying is people have got to look at multiple incomes, multiple areas, spreading their time, being smarter, because they have to accept that the world's going to change and the security over their job is going to be a lot less now than it was last year.
Yeah.
And if you fail to take these actions, you could catch a cold. Should probably call it something else. You could. You're gonna get caught out. You're gonna get caught out, and you're gonna have to move. So I think that's the first one. So let's move on to number 2. Right, loneliness. Right, we've had people saying, "I'm lonely, I'm trapped." So I'll kick this one off and say, I think this is a perception thing, and I think this at the beginning is whether you assume that you are lonely and there's nothing you can do about it, or you are lonely and there is something that you can do about it. And I think it depends on which category people are in.
That is true. Yeah, there's a big difference, like you said, between where we choose to focus our energy. Loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. They're really not. So would you like me to delve deeper into how we would assess that situation, or how we would respond to it? Or
so let's say someone says, I am lonely, but I know there's something I can do about it. What can I do about it? So let's talk about the practical steps then, how to solve this thing where I'm feeling lonely, I'm feeling trapped, I need to do something about it. What would you suggest?
Okay, swallow pride and reach out. Pride doesn't help us in these situations. I know it's hard for a lot of people to reach out because of pride, but let's forget pride, whatever may be holding you back from reaching out. The first thing we need to do if we're lonely is to do that. And there's different ways of doing it. If you don't live with people, there's lots of online resources. Once again, there's so many support groups out there, charities, you name it. There is always somebody out there who will listen. And as well, for people who are maybe feeling lonely right now, there's millions of other people who are feeling just as lonely, and they are looking for connections too. So we have to reach out. We have to be open. Like, loneliness comes when we close off. When we close off from the world, we're usually trapping ourselves. And I understand, yes, we can flip a coin on any situation. We can always do a what if, whatever kind of thing. But in most cases, most loneliness does come from being shut off. And that closed off comes from inside. So when we open up to so many more possibilities and other people and connections with other people. So we need to open up and look and actually reach out to people.
Okay.
Because if they don't know we're lonely,
yeah,
most people aren't going to reach out to us. So the communication has to be there. It has to.
All right. So let's divide this into two bits then and say, I'm going to say that I'm lonely. So I've got two choices here. I've either got to reach out to the people that I know, my friends and my family.
Yeah.
I turn around and go, fuck, I'm a bit bored with them. Really, there's the other option saying, I'd like some new friends. Because this is an incredible opportunity. I'm locked in the house. I'm into tiddlywinks. I love my tiddlywinks, flipping my tiddlywinks. And if I could meet some friends who are also into tiddlywinks, I could have a great conversation. So surely there's that kind of two side to it, is there not?
There is. I honestly think for most people, it would be better to focus on the people who are in your current, like if you are living with people, what better time to reestablish connections and bonds with those people? But if you don't, like you say if someone's loves to play tiddlywinks competitively, you can find a Facebook group for anything now, and you can go and play tiddlywinks with people online. You can play card games. You can just listen to music together. There's a constant 24-hour online karaoke where people are singing. There's so many different things going on, and that's the cool thing about this right now is if you look, millions of people are coming across the world, coming together across the world, sorry. And, they're supporting each other in so many ways through arts and crafts and games, and just, if you look for it, it is there. And you will be uplifted if you reach out, because people get rewarded from you reaching out, from them connecting with you to it. It's a two-way thing, and we can never, ever, ever get rid of that basic human need. So we need to stop depriving ourselves of it if we maybe intentionally are.
Right. So with the loneliness, what we're saying is you, first of all, have to have the perception that there's something I can do about it. You then look at what I do with the people in my circle, and then you turn around and say, what other new friends could I go and search for that have got similar interests? And so you split your time between the two in some, way, and then you build up a better circle of people that you would have never normally done, because this is why coronavirus is this amazing opportunity where you can go and find people that you'd have never looked for before and make your life better. So I'm going to go and find 10 Tiddlywinks fans from around the world and have a virtual Tiddlywinks competition.
And why not? Why not?
Why not indeed? Third subject. People came across this as saying one of the biggest challenges was a lack of motivation.
Yes.
So what do we see as a solution for that?
I often find the reason most people are not motivated is because they're not in touch and they're not exploring their passions, right? Nobody's going to be motivated if they're not doing things they enjoy doing. And again, yes, we can flip a coin. We can say, oh, well, I don't have a choice to do this job. I don't have a choice to do that. We all have things we don't have a choice in, but that doesn't mean we have to spend 24 hours of every day doing it. So we can free up some time in every day to search our passions, get back in touch with our passions. And I promise you, we all have talents. We all have things we can grow. And when we get in touch with those, inspiration, desire, motivation, they come back to us naturally, because you don't have to force yourself to grow your passion.
All right.
When we stop focusing on our passion and our natural skills, that's when we lose motivation. That's when we lose discipline, because we need to feel a reward in what we are doing.
Okay, so my question to you is, for those people that are watching back home,
Yeah.
how do I find out what my passion is?
That is something, like, you know, when people say, what is the meaning of life? That is up to you to give it meaning. So when someone says, how do I find my passion? You need to explore. You need to, and like I said, the journey inwards, I don't want to keep going back to that, but it's up to each individual to find out what their passion is. And yeah, of course, you're going to try loads of things and you're not going to like them, but that's how you find the things you do like. It's the same with people. You don't find the people you do like till you meet a few that you don't like. It's just part of the journey. So we need to explore. It's as simple as that.
So could this be like, you know, if I think back, there's going to be things I've done in the past, but I've gone away from because I'm too busy. I used to go fishing because I really enjoyed it and I was passionate about it. So to find this passion, is it partly about thinking back to things that you used to do and love doing? You know, is it more about going back and thinking through that way?
Again, there's lots of variables to that. It could be something you loved to do in childhood that you stopped doing because you felt too old for it. It could be something you've never even discovered before. A lot of people don't even discover their passion until halfway through their life. So, it could be something that you've always wanted to try, but you've just never had the confidence to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the variables there, I wouldn't get stuck on one set answer with that. It could be any of those things, and it could be anything outside of those boxes too. But this is the thing, we have to be open to finding it in any area.
So what a suggestion would be, get a bit of paper and a pen, get yourself relaxed, close your eyes, and then make a list of everything you love doing. And as you go through that list, the ones that you really feel inspired about, kind of, I don't know, lighten up your soul, make your heart beat and go, oh, I love that, and I love that. And then of the ones that you really love, one or two maybe, you know, that you feel totally.
Can I just say, and if the person does do that and they still don't have an answer, it's probably because they're not taking care of their basic human needs. We have to take care of our basic human needs before anything else we are talking about will work. Everything has to be addressed within you. Like I said, you know, your nutrition, your exercise, all those kind of things. You have to take care of yourself before anything else in your life is going to have its full reward. So anything we're talking about right now, if someone is not taking care of their basic needs, everything else is not going to come to you naturally. When we address those things, everything else will come much easier.
Perfect. Thank you. So you won't believe this, but we're 22 minutes into the show. Where does time go? So what we've done is we've looked at 3 solutions. We've looked at solutions to money. We looked at solutions to the loneliness question. And we've looked at solutions to a lack of motivation. So everybody that's watching at this, you know, watching us talk right now, we hope what we've given you is some very constructive advice. We've given you tools, techniques, ideas in terms of how you can use this opportunity of being in your house right now to make your life better and better and better. Because you have a choice in life. You can either go, this is terrible, I'm locked away, I can't do anything, in which case your life will be a reflection of that. Or you can turn around on the other hand and go, I'm going to do something about it. And this is what I'm going to do. And you fall into one categories, you know, you either do nothing or you do something. And we're talking to the people here that are going to do something.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, I think, Johnny, is let's do a separate show about everything. And this is going in quite deep about actual positive actions that people can take on the money front. You know, walk them through, here's an idea. The different ideas are going to work for different people in different ways. And this is how we can use the online world to make our life financially secure, to get financial freedom. How can I do it? How can I do it? What we're going to do as part of the show is give you a very structured approach, options, different ways. We'll find people that have already done it. I think that's really, really key. You know, there's no point in saying, well, here's an idea. Is it going to work? I don't know. We'll give you people that you can go and talk to and find out how they've done it. How did they make so much money? How did they make whatever it is that they've made? And I think we'll take that as a completely new, on its own subject, because I think you need that kind of money have a bit of comfort around other things in your life.
And yeah, that was the thing. Looking for inspiration, look for the people you admire to aspire to them. Very good point that I can't believe we didn't mention, but very, very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always remember there's a saying, if you want to swim with the big fish, you need to go where the big fish swim. So
Yep.
Well, I'd like to make $10,000, £10,000, €10,000 a month. Then you need to go and find the people that are making that kind of money and see what they're doing, model them,
Yep.
doing something right, and then do it yourself. And if you can do it better, great, but at least copy them. And I think that's an energetic thing at the end of the day, because
It is.
if you're watching people are talking about the success they're having, you're naturally lifted, you're inspired. And I think that motivation, that passion that you were talking about earlier on, comes from knowing that everybody's already doing this. Well, not everybody. Certain people are actually doing it. It's like Roger Bannister. There were people before him that tried to run a mile in under 4 minutes, and they failed. And then he goes and runs it, and then all these other people that failed then went and ran before and sub 4 minute mile. But then he did it because he'd already done it.
Yeah.
What's the difference? The difference is just a bit of belief. So what we'll do is we'll call it a day today. Have you got anything you would like to say to the people watching in terms of one final bit of advice? Or
just to sum up everything like you said there in a nutshell, like this is the only chance we will ever get to do this. The only chance we will ever get to do this. So we can see this time as boredom, which is a perspective shift, or we can capitalize on it. And I'm talking about myself as well right now. I will never get a chance like this again, neither will you. So we may as well make the most of it. Do we wish our time away, or do we make the most of it?
Yeah. I'm going to finish by saying I'm going to put an application into something called the Double Comma Club.
Yeah.
I only found out about this on Friday. And a Double Comma Club, if you think about £1 million, $1 million, €1 million, you've got 2 commas. And a Double Comma Club is somebody, it could be a couple of people working together, that generate more than $1 million, because this is a club in America, in 1 year. And so I'm building my business around helping people like you are, doing the right thing, and then getting financial rewards as a benefit of doing that. And so I'm really, really passionate about doing that kind of work, which I know you are, and then the benefit from doing all of that is that I get my income to a point where I qualify for being in this Double Comma Club. And then you get to go on stage and you get this great big award for having achieved it, but from having helped other people first, primarily. And so that's something that we can talk about. And I'm doing it because other people are doing it. There are people in the world, that are doing this kind of stuff. And I think
you've seen that your proverbial 4 minute mile in under a minute can be done, and now you're going to do it. That's the aim, right?
Perfect. Right, 28 minutes in for a 20-minute show. Where does time go?
It goes quick. It was a pleasure. Thank you once again.
Johnny, you're an absolute star.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll put a message out when we're going to put out this show. It will be within the next week. Johnny and I are going to put our heads together, and we're going to give you solutions to solve everything to do with money.
Yes.
Johnny, thank you very much.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Power talk.
I understand that when between up to like your 18th birthday, you spent how long in hospital?
Well, I used to spend like 2 weeks. This is on average, because we're doing.
When you got to 18,
Yeah.
what did you weigh?
I was about 6.5 stone when I was at my worst. Well, that's obviously.
Sister Adeline, you had that book. What was the name of your book again?
Oh,
Power of Imagination.
Yes.
Am I wrong? No, I'm right.
You're right. No, holding on to your vision, let me correct you then.
See?
This is your other book.
No, not yet.
Well, maybe I'm trying to create a book here.
Yeah,